Hi everyone, I'm Julia Fedejko, a senior at Council Rock North. Welcome to the spring episode of the Northside. The Northside is a news magazine show profiling happenings around the north end of the Council Rock School District. Let's take a look at what's been happening around the Northside. Council Rock North has a very unique club. The Coffee Club is made up of hardworking students who deliver coffee around the school. Let's check it out.
Hi, this is Mike Diglia. I'm also involved with the coffee program here at North. Okay, so there's many steps to the coffee program that are great for our guys. Part of that is assessing the inventories that we have here in the classroom and creating it through a spreadsheet. And then we get together what we need, and we're able to go out as a group in the community and go purchase things at either Costco or BJ's. And then the next step is one in which we collaborate with another set of students, Mrs. Harris's, who have some more writing skills and the ability to use Excel. And they take all the information and they put it in and they create slips for us. And then with the slips, we get to bring that to the day of, and we set up for the coffees, and everything's done from the slips to the end product by the students, which is the most important part. Our students take the slips and it guides them through what they need to do in terms of sweetener, cream, decaf, regular. They go ahead, they make it, then they put it over to the side, and then we pick up, and that's where the magic happens. And those are some of the best moments that we have. We're able to go into the classrooms, and our students have built a relationship with the other teachers in the building, and it's an amazing way for us to connect with them and for the rest of the building to kind of know who we are and what we do. The teachers have been amazing, and the expressions on our guys' face kind of say it all.
I'm Mrs. Julian. I'm an autistic support teacher here at Council Rock North. If you're interested in getting a cup of coffee, you can reply to the email that I sometimes forget to send on Wednesdays or Thursdays. You can send an email to Mr. Diglia, mdiglia at CRSD.org. You can stop in 128 and let him know that you want a coffee, and we always love to serve you.
Recently, the Newtown Middle School put on a play called South Pacific. The faculty's and students' dedication and hard work really paid off.
I'm Mr. Dolan. I'm the music teacher at Newtown Middle School. Well, we just finished our run of South Pacific here at Newtown with craft players. It's our 10th anniversary. We did it 10 years ago in our old building, and it was the show that we chose to used as the inaugural production in our new auditorium. The new auditorium has state-of-the-art sound and lighting systems installed, which were great to work with once we got up to speed on how to use everything. Message to all the parents and Council Rock, thanks for me and the other people who direct these shows in our district, because we recognize it takes a great deal of time and resources, time away from family and sometimes away from schoolwork. I think my favorite thing about South Pacific is that kids are still singing the songs. Even elementary kids who had siblings in the show are singing in their elementary schools. Like over at Finestone and Goodnoe, kids are in the hallway singing the South Pacific songs, which I think is pretty cool considering the age of the musical.
My favorite part of Craft Players is just getting to be around everybody and being with my friends all the time. It's just such a good experience.
It's so much fun. We get to be around each other. We get to make new friends. It's such an important part of our lives. I think that everyone should have the experience of being in a play.
During the show, you don't really know many people at first, but once you do it, everyone kind of comes together. So it's really cool to be part of like a family when you do the show.
There's a spot for everyone, whether or not you like to act. I don't really like acting, but I found it really enjoyable to be on stage crew and stage manager.
Kids that do theater normally have higher grades. I like the feeling of the skirt, and I was dancing in my underwear.
If I woke up at like 8 to go to practices on Saturday, I wasn't like sad, I was actually really happy and excited.
Tech part of it, it's interesting how the stage crew is incorporated into the scene instead of just dressed in black and hides in the corners.
I like how the stage crew runs and the fact that it's not all curtains closing. A lot of it is the stage crew is in the scene and it just makes it flow better.
I think in the end, the kids walk 7 feet taller than they did before the production, and I think that's worth it. Whether it's an elementary show or a high school show, we have so much going on. Our musicals and our buildings are a really important part of our community, and I hope that that continues.
At Newtown Middle School, a teacher who everyone loves and adores will be retiring. His name is Mr. McCarthy.
This will be my 40th year. I started in 1979, right out of college, and was a long-term sub for a number of years. My first year I was at Neshaminy. From my second to my 15th year, I was at Bristol Borough Junior Senior High School. And from 1995 on, I've been in Council Rock at Newtown Middle School. I was pressed into service. One year, Mrs. Phelps was teaching here and she became ill. And to lighten her load a little bit, I took over for the science position. And I've never thought myself as inclined to do science, and I absolutely had a ball for the third and fourth marking period teaching science. Now again, it wasn't 7th grade, it wasn't anything nuclear in it, but it was very enjoyable for me. I think the word that I would use that best described me and my teaching style would be energetic. I think that in a world that students are so used to being entertained, whether by video games, TV, movies, and that instant gratification, I think I have to compete with that. So I try to be energetic in the classroom and energetic when I'm coaching as well. I have coached all sports at one point in time or another. Football, boys and girls basketball. I was a softball coach and track. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades, master of none, I guess people would say. You know, I think just making connections with kids. Guys like you come back, you know, and ask me to do something like this. This is a highlight of my career, to do things like this. When I see kids outside of the building who I've made a connection with over the years, whether it is, you know, somebody who is 13 or 14 years old or somebody who is 43 or 44. It's such a great feeling to know that you made some type of impact on their life. Tongue in cheek, I would tell you, I realized I couldn't become a lawyer, but honestly, it was the opportunity to pay it forward. I had some really good teachers in high school, really good mentors in college, and I realized that I wanted to teach and coach. It's funny you ask that because I keep talking to my wife saying, you know, I have a bucket list of things to do once I retire, and I want to travel in the Mediterranean. I've taught Rome and Greece for 40 years. If I were going to do it science fictionally, if I really looking for, man, I would love to see what life was like back in the Viking Age or the age of pirates in the Caribbean. I think that would be absolutely awesome. I have a lot of really special memories of the sports teams that I've coached. Some really good players, tremendously hardworking players, players that I always felt that would coaches like to say would run through the wall for us. Also the opportunity to see a group of students that are different from when I grew up and different from the first 15 years I taught. So it allowed me to become a better teacher, a more engaged teacher. Things that, you know, I would say to anybody getting into this field and anybody getting into any career opportunity is, you know, if you find a job that you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. And I can honestly say there has never been a morning that I've, you know, didn't feel like getting up and come to work. And so I think that would be, you know, the most ingratiating part of being a teacher. Plus the opportunity to connect with the youth who are going to be our leaders of tomorrow.
This year's Interact Club ran a 3-on-3 basketball tournament to raise money for the charity Shelter Box. This event was very successful, so let's take a look into it.
Shutterstock Music.
The Interact Club works in coordination with the Newtown Rotary Club, and there is a gentleman there named Richard Rogers, and he is responsible for some of the activities that the Interact Club does. One of his favorite activities, apparently, was the 3-on-3 tournament long ago, and so over the last 5 years, he's asked that it come back, so we tried our best to make it happen, and it's just grown ever since we did. This year we had about 50 participants, and some were even community member teams that were able to play against the high schoolers, which was really neat for us to see. And we also were able to provide an opportunity for them to see some of the work that the Interact Club is doing. So it's just a way for the Rotary in Newtown to work with a high school student.
Interact Club is a club that is supported by the Newtown Rotary Club here in our town, and they help us with our charity events, and we help them with many of their charity events, and it could be local charities or national charities.
Shutterstock Music. I got that. I got that.
This year, Council Rock North's annual Rockathon took place, and upwards of $13,000 was raised for Autism Cares Foundations. Let's take a look back at this event and see how it went down.
So SEB is mainly, we're a group of students. We all work together to not only just plan and execute a lot of the events and dances that we have at our school, but also help the community by donating our proceeds from these events to charity. So it's definitely a very benevolent cause, and it's also helping the students and the local community. So it's definitely good having those two both helped. The goal is $15,000. I think we're definitely really close to that. So I just want to say that thank you guys all for coming out if you came out, and thank you for supporting. We all really appreciate it, not only just me, but also Autism Cares, everybody from there, and really just anybody in the Newtown community. We really appreciate it.
Autism Cares Foundation serves to provide life enrichment opportunities to those who live on the spectrum. So a lot of us on Friday nights, we can come to events like this, but a lot of our friends with autism don't have those same opportunities. So Autism Cares likes to give everyone the same social opportunities that everyone here enjoys.
We started just a few years ago. It started with just 5 individuals, and it's really grown over the past few years. Now we have over 100 students in the club. It's just really heartwarming to see all of these kids just care about such special individuals.
So I really want to thank all the students here at Council Rock North for this wonderful fundraising activity, Rockathon, that they've put on for behalf of Autism Cares Foundation. Our foundation supports people with autism throughout Bucks County and other special needs as well. So what they're doing here for this fundraising event is absolutely amazing, and the funds go a long way to support all the activities we do to try and take a non-typical environment and make it typical for our special needs folks. So if you really think about all the things these guys are doing in there right now and having a blast, a lot of our special needs folks don't have that same opportunity. So we create those opportunities, and we do about 200 of those events and outings every single year. So it's amazing, and that's why this support's so vital. We also run an adult program as well, and we're looking to expand that, so a lot of these funds will help with that. We have 30 people in this program today. We need another facility. We have people on a waiting list, 80-some people deep, who at this point have graduated school and fairly much they're homebound. So opening a second facility will give those individuals a tremendous amount of support and help build their life toward greater independence. So what these students are doing here is totally awe-inspiring. It's magnificent. I really look at them as leaders of their generation to step outside of the me, me, me world and think about this greater world outside of themselves, that there's other people that could use their help and support, and that's how they're channeling their energy. So I think these students are just an amazing group of folks that can inspire students, not just here in Bucks County, but all across this great country of ours. And I appreciate Council Rock and the students here for taking this lead and really this awe-inspiring event tonight. Thank you so much.
That's it for this episode of The North Side. I'm your host, Julia, and thank you so much for watching.